If you want insane deals on legit PC keys from great developers, use my Fanatical link down below and start saving yourself some money. Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Bigfry. Today I want to talk to you guys about Vanguard. I dropped a video about a week ago talking about Vanguard Normandy 1944. It was a new World War II shooter that came onto Steam Early Access. Now that video was titled What Happened? Because when I jumped in, nobody was playing. I was following the game and didn't even know the game came out, and it looks like they had done little to zero promotion for the game. And based on some of my comments on that video, a lot of you guys didn't know the game was actually coming out either, which means they definitely dropped the ball on that promotion. And when I said in the video that they should reach out and we should try to set something up, they did, and this is the follow-up to that video. I finally got my hands on the game to, actually play with a full server. I got my community in. We were giving out keys on a live stream. We were streaming for like 250 people, and it was a fucking blast. I have to say, this game does have a lot of flaws, which we're going to go into in a little bit. For a game that came onto the Steam Early Access platform for $15, it has the core base functionality down pat. For a game, and I guess you would call it an alpha, it was running incredibly well. Optimization for me, I was getting about 80 to 90 frames, and that's with streaming on the same PC. I heard other people just chattering throughout the game saying that they were getting 90 to even over 100 FPS, and I have to say the game is really fun. It's really basic. It reminds me of a Medal of Honor. If you were to take Medal of Honor, strip it back down to what we knew of, like, not even Allied Assault, because it's obviously more advanced than that, but it just reminds me of a core World War II, little bit arcade, but not like Battalion 1944 hopping around corners and doing all that shit. It's definitely more grounded, but it's so fun to play. Their voiceover system in the game, top notch. You can hear everybody perfectly. There wasn't a lot of lag. Now, I was playing with Karmacut and Shermanator. They were actually in another server. They had filled that one, and then we went and filled another one, and we had a few people joining in from overseas, and obviously with the ping connections, you're gonna get a little bit of lag there, but it's very, like, it's minimal. Like, you don't notice it, and I think that's because of the core game design. It's not so dependent on getting that last shot like a Call of Duty. It's not an arena shooter in that sense. It's a little bit bigger. Objectives are spread out a little bit. We're going to get into the objectives in a little bit here. Basically, the game mode we were playing, I don't know, I think this is the only game mode in the game. It's attack and defend, essentially. You have 3 points, A, B, or C, that the attackers have to only get one of them, and then it moves on to the next objective. It's kind of like attack and defend. I guess you could compare it to Rush in Battlefield, but the problem is the attacking team only has to get one of the 3 points, and that might sound easy, but when you realize that as the attacker, if you're going to capture an objective, you have to walk up, you have to hit the F key, and it puts you basically in a frozen animation where you're capturing, you're doing whatever to this objective, whether you're grabbing a fucking radio or whatever, and you can't get out of it. And that's kind of annoying to me. But at the same time, I guess that's where their balance comes into play. To me, I feel like any animation that like locks you in place is bad. Even back in the day when I was playing games like SOCOM, some of those animations where like a grenade would like knock you down and you couldn't really do anything about it. I feel like limiting player control is always poor game design. And that's just my opinion. Obviously, they feel differently about it, and that's how they're doing the balancing. I also feel like we should have to capture more than one objective. I feel like if you're going to do 3 points, at least make us capture 2 out of the 3 and make it so that we don't have to go up and like get locked into an animation to do it. Because what happens is basically what we were doing is we were sticking close to the point. As soon as we see that it's being taken, you just look over and like the person's dead. You know what I mean? Like, they're sitting there the whole time. If you can look over and you can like kind of sit off point a little bit, you can just see them sitting out in the open every single time. There were a couple objectives that you could like capture through walls, which needs to be fixed. Obviously, that's just like quality of life stuff, a little bit of polish on that. I find a lot of the things that this game needs is just quality of life and just some polish on some of the features and a little bit of tweaking here and there. I think what they have is a really good early access game. And personally, I still think the statement stands. I think they need some sort of bot system, whether it's just basic AIs to get people in there once they buy the game, and if we can slowly get the player base going, then at least there's something to shoot at. Even Splitgate has bots, even though they're fucking terrible. At least they're there to try and get you to at least be able to figure out all the systems and figure out how the game works down to its core. Now, Vanguard did hook me up with a bunch of keys that we gave away during that live stream, so I guess you could say that the live stream was sponsored. I guess I wasn't paid for any of this, but I feel like I have to tell you when a studio is doing something right. I think the game is solid for what it is. I think for a $15 game, they have something, and personally, it's a lot better than a lot of the other shooters that I have played in early access on that platform. But the biggest problem is going to come down to how do they recover from a shitty launch. It's the same as World War III, only World War III had a bigger fan base going into it. It's incredibly tough. And I wish them the absolute best. I hope that this video maybe makes one of you guys go and check out the game. Or if not now, hopefully within the next few months, we see a bunch of developer diaries and updates and stuff like that to keep people in the loop for what's going on with the game. They said they're going to be in early access for about a year. Maybe at that point, we'll go back in and check it out. I would hope that the developers are good at communicating with their community moving forward, and I'm wishing them the best. Pathfinder Games just keep on with the momentum that we have from that last live stream, and I'll definitely be in here in the next few months just checking out the game periodically, and we might do a live stream every here and there and, you know, jump in and just see what's changed. So again, I'm wishing you guys the best. Hopefully you can recover from this, and hopefully my coverage and hopefully the stream got people interested in your product. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you like and do all the cool stuff, subscribe and all that. We're currently over 100,000, 103, almost 104,000. I can't thank you guys enough for all of the support lately, man. We've gone up like 13 or 14,000 subscribers in like a week and a half. You guys are absolutely killing it. And I want to provide more content covering indie games just like Vanguard. I think that is where I need to be. I don't know if you guys enjoy the AAA stuff as well. Keep an eye out on my community tab in the next week or so. I'm going to be throwing some polls up and asking you guys what kind of content you want to see from me moving forward. I know you guys fuck with the shitty early access titles. I'm glad that Vanguard isn't one of them, but I also want to bring to light some developers who are doing it right. And I think Vanguard's doing it right. I just think they dropped the ball with that initial promo. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this. So let me know what you guys think down below. Again, thank you guys for everything. My name is Bigfry, and I'll see you on the next one.